launches a bloody assault on Buda Castle, overpowering its Austrian garrison.
Damn, Hungary. Ooh, Hungary's not playing around. Epic History TV, 1848 reaction. I've always wanted to get into it, but I kept on forgetting. But now I'm doing it. Let's get right into the video.
1848. More than 3 decades after his defeat, the shadow of Napoleon Bonaparte and the French Revolution still looms over Europe. The peace settlement of 1815 had been a triumph for reactionary forces. Europe's great powers, Britain, France, Austria, Prussia, and Russia, were committed to working together to ensure no more revolutions.
Yo, bro, it's crazy, man. Crazy how Napoleon influenced Europe that even after his death, bro. Even after his death, man, Europe still had that. Well, went crazy, fam. Right now, I'm reacting to the Napoleonic Wars by Epic History TV. I'm probably gonna do Napoleon in Egypt tomorrow. But yo, it's crazy. This is the aftershock, though, so I don't think I'll be spoiled.
Radicalism and republicanism would not be allowed to disturb the peace of Europe again. Austrian Chancellor Prince Clemens von Metternich is regarded as the architect of this new conservative order. Some historians call it the Metternich system. And yet, across Europe, there are many for whom the ideals of the French Revolution remain not a nightmare, but an inspiration. Liberals seek personal freedoms and civil rights, such as equality before the law, protected by constitutions, a free press, and regular elections. Nationalists share these aims with a desire in Italy and Germany for national unification, or in the multi-ethnic Austrian Empire for greater recognition, autonomy, and respect for language.
You know, when it comes to Italy, right? With Germany, I understand, right? They're all Germans and they're all like German states, right? But with Italy, aren't some so-called Italians Germanic in a way? Because when the Roman Empire fell, the Germanic peoples, well, the Germans, they were Germans. The Germans came and made their own kingdoms in what's now Italy. So I always wondered, because I know that obviously the Romans were left over, right? But what about the Germans? Like, what happened to the Germans? Obviously, some of them interbred, but some of these kingdoms, though, like, would they not be Germanic? Right? Right? I don't know. I know, like, migration and whatnot happened, but some of these kingdoms would have to be Germanic. Like Switzerland, for example. Switzerland is a mixture of Italian and Germans. That's true. But can someone answer that in the comments for me?
Poles continue to seek the restoration of an independent Poland, and have launched one bloody uprising against the Russians in 1830. Their cause is supported by liberals across Europe. In most countries, liberals and nationalists face draconian censorship laws, arrest by the secret police, and bans on political parties and meetings. But there are always loopholes. In France, private banquets turn into political rallies. In Italy, scientific societies discuss politics, while gymnastic groups do the same in Germany. These liberal movements are dominated by the middle class, with their own local and national agendas, but also many shared values and aims. They are passionate, organized, and waiting for their opportunity.
Okay, 2 minutes in, nothing crazy hasn't happened yet. But besides the Polish thing, I was gonna say the Polish thing. It's kind of funny because didn't the Polish in Russia, under Russian rule, weren't they technically like on a better standing of living than like actual Russian people, right? Interesting how that worked, because I think Poland wasn't like a part of Russia as the other regions were. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure Poland was still like a kingdom, and the Tsar of Russia was like the king of Poland, if I'm not mistaken, right? Interesting how that works. So it was like a part of Russia, but technically like under a personal union. Wouldn't that technically mean that it was like I don't know, that's confusing.
But it isn't just the middle classes that want change. By 1848, rising populations and food prices had created hunger, poverty, and social unrest across Europe. Low wages and hunger drive peasants to cities in increasing numbers, where they become cheap labor to feed the growing pace of industrialization. They live in slums and work long hours in dreadful conditions, if they can find work. Violent protests by workers and peasants are on the rise. Harvest failures and potato blight make a
Damn. Yo, it's crazy to me today how that sounds so similar to today in a way, right? People, the whole job market crisis that's going on in America right now, people are just not getting enough money, and the rich just keeps on getting richer, fam. Sounds exactly like today in a way. Synonymous, yes. It's very synonymous. That's the word I'm looking for.
bad situation worse, with a deadly famine in Ireland and food riots across France. In the face of such crises,
The Irish potato famine could have been preventable. It could have been prevented, so
Europe's governments offer little support or hope of reform. When French Prime Minister François Guizot is challenged that only the richest 0.5% could vote in France, he merely replies, "Enrichissez-vous, get rich." In the winter of
Nah, that's crazy. Yo, that is actually crazy. It's funny to me how rich people are so snobby, bro. They're so snobby. Like, I see so many rich people say, "Oh, you people just don't like us because of our money." Like, no, I don't care about your money, bro. It's like your personality sucks. I think that's like their cope. Their cope is like, "Oh well, they're just hating on us because of our money." Like, no, fam. I've been around rich people. Oh my gosh, dude, their personalities, bro. Oh.
Of 1847-48, a sharp economic downturn throws thousands more out of work. The case for reform is more urgent than ever, but Europe's governments fail to act. The stage is set for a European revolution. This video is sponsored by Skillshare, the online community with
I am broke. I say this in all of my reactions. I am broke. I have nothing for people to donate to me. I should probably set up something for people to donate, but I am broke.
In southern Italy, the kingdom of the Two Sicilies is ruled by Spanish Bourbon king Ferdinand II.
Damn, he is fat. Holy crap, that man is fat.
Disastrous agrarian reforms have united Sicilian landowners and peasants against him. His kingdom will witness 1848's first revolution. In Sicily, furious crowds chase Bourbon troops out of Palermo, and the island declares independence, readopting its liberal constitution of 1812. Revolutionary fervor spreads to the mainland. Mass rallies in Naples force King Ferdinand to issue his own constitution. In Piedmont, Sardinia, the threat of revolution persuades King Carlo Alberto to grant a constitution, and there are celebrations in the streets of Turin. Across the
Damn, yo, you wanna know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of the Arab Spring. This is exactly like oh my gosh. The patterns are just like the Arab Spring, bro. Cause I'm watching this and I'm just like, why does this sound so familiar? And then boom, it hit me, the freaking Arab Spring. When like all like at the same time, like the Arab world started to protest and revolt against their governments and leaders. Yeah, it's just like this.
The border in Austrian-ruled Lombardy, Venetia, Italian nationalists revolt in Milan and Venice and drive out the Austrian garrisons. But as dramatic as these events are, they're about to be eclipsed by news from Paris.
Vention brings simple and
The ads, I would get ad blocker, but I do like Epic History TV. They're pretty cool. I do believe that they should at least get some money for that. So if you see an ad in this video, just skip it.
Since France's 1830 July Revolution, the country has been ruled by Louis Philippe, the so-called Citizen King. He's a more moderate figure than his Bourbon predecessor, Charles X, but he opposes further reform despite the growing economic crisis. His Prime Minister, François Guizot, is hated. When he bans the banquets that are really opposition rallies, angry crowds march through Paris, chanting, "Down with Guizot! Long live reform!" Guizot resigns, but it is not enough. Nervous troops fire on the crowds. 52 civilians are killed.
Big yikes. Yo, I feel like a lot of these revolutions always start because like the soldiers just like they cave under the pressure and they start opening fire on civilians even though they don't want to. It's just like it's the pressure, fam. The pressure is just so much that it just happens to them, right? So it's always that pattern, right? Every single revolution that I've done, like, don't get me wrong, some cases, some soldiers just don't care. They don't care. They just go, open fire, boom, boom, boom.
Louis Philippe loses control of the capital, and as the mob advances on the Tuileries Palace, he abdicates and flees to England. A new provisional government is formed, and from the Hôtel de Ville, new Foreign Minister Alphonse de Lamartine announces the Republic has been proclaimed. France's monarchy has fallen in just 3 days. The
That is crazy, fam.
news is carried across Europe by the new telegraph system. The effect is electrifying. "75-year-old Austrian Chancellor Prince Metternich is among the first to be informed of the revolution in Paris. His police chief assures him there's no chance of such a thing happening in Vienna. But on the 13th of March, around 4,000 students, inspired by the news from Paris, march on the Landhaus, the assembly building, and force their way in.
Oh, this is getting crazy.
A confrontation with troops who open fire and kill 4. Vienna's workers side with the students. Much of the crowd's hostility is directed at Metternich. When the state council suggests he resign, Metternich meekly agrees and heads into exile in England.
Why are they all going to England? Why are they all going to England, bro? Like, come, jeez, fam. They all just going to exile and they all go to England, bruh.
One of the most extraordinary political careers in Europe's history, spanning 40 years, comes to an end.
Oh, that's his photograph? Oh, wow, that's actually cool.
Emperor Ferdinand suffers from epilepsy and a speech impediment, and is a largely passive figure. But when his council announces there will be elections for an assembly that will draft a constitution, crowds cheer him in the street. The secret police disappear. Censorship is ignored. The people of Vienna celebrate. Nationalists within the
Okay, so... Okay, that's interesting. Did he even allow for that? Or did they just do it? Like... They just did it? Like, what?
Austrian Empire are also inspired by events. In the Hungarian parliament, politician Lajos Kossuth makes a fiery speech denouncing Habsburg absolutism as the pestilential air which dulls our nerves and paralyzes our spirit. His speech is printed and circulated widely, inspiring others across the empire. Hungarians launch their own revolution, with 12 demands that include greater autonomy, a free press, and parliamentary reform. Czech liberals in Prague form a national committee and also send their demands to Vienna.
Wait, but why is the Czech flag the Polish flag? What? What? Why is that? Can someone explain that to me?
There is even a Romanian nationalist uprising in the Ottoman province of Wallachia, forcing the abdication of the local prince. Across the smaller states of Germany, rulers face popular demands for reform. Most quickly grant concessions to avoid losing their thrones.
Damn, bro. That is so mad. They're just like allowing this. Yo, I expected this to just be like, they would just get repressed, right? Because in a lot of these countries, usually freaking... you just repress these people. These people would just get repressed, but they're just getting their way. Wow, this is actually shocking to me, fam.
The black, red and gold tricolour, symbol of a united Germany, is prominent among the crowds. Germany's first ever National Assembly meets in Frankfurt, with elected delegates from across Germany. They debate how they will achieve the liberal dream of a unified Germany and begin drafting its national constitution. In the Prussian capital, Berlin, students and liberals are thrilled by developments and celebrate Metternich's fall. King Frederick William IV promises reform, but also moves extra troops into the city.
He's not taking any chances, bruh. He's not taking any chances, bruh. Of course Prussia does that.
Tensions escalate between Berliners and soldiers, and on the 18th of March, protesters erect barricades. The army attacks, leading to vicious fighting in the streets.
Oh, okay. This is getting spicy. Yeah, this is the spicy part.
800 protesters are killed. The king loses his stomach for the slaughter and withdraws troops from the city, promising a new constitution. Not all Europe is embracing change.
Of course, Russia does not accept it. I was gonna say previously, right, that I was gonna comment on Russia and say, don't Russia typically just repress this stuff? But let's see what happens.
In Russia, Emperor Nicholas firmly opposes any reforms. He'd been badly shaken by the Decembrist revolt on the opening day of his reign. Since then, he has tightened censorship and created a new secret police unit, the Third Department. There is a crackdown on all suspected subversives. Writer Fyodor Dostoevsky is among those arrested and subjected to a mock execution before he is exiled to Siberia.
What is the point of mock executions? Why? What is the point of that? Can someone please explain, like, what is the point of that?
There will be no concessions in Russia. By European standards, Britain is already a liberal constitutional monarchy, and the middle classes broadly accept the status quo. But there is a popular movement calling for more democratic reforms. They're known as the Chartists for the 6-point charter they wish to implement. A mass rally is organised for the 10th of April in London. This is a photograph of that meeting. The authorities fear violence and draft in 80,000 extra police. But the event passes off peacefully.
We're building a better postal service. All parts working in sync to move your business forward for more value.
In the Netherlands, King William II backs a new constitution and reforms, successfully preempting any revolutionary disturbance. With fortuitous timing, Frederick VII of Denmark had abolished royal absolutism in January, so also avoids revolution. But he faces a German nationalist revolt in Schleswig-Holstein, which leads to war with the German Confederation. Denmark will ultimately prevail in this war.
Wait. The German Confederation, was that a country or is that just a faction? Because wasn't the German Confederation like the successor to the Holy Roman Empire, right? I could be wrong. But wouldn't that technically mean that before Bismarck came and united Germany, wouldn't that mean that Germany technically was a country, but it was a confederation, right? Because the Holy Roman Empire was Germany. Everyone agrees on that. That's why it's called the First Reich. But wouldn't the German Confederation also be Germany as well, right? I don't know. It's weird how borders and whatnot worked back then.
Thanks to diplomatic support from the other European powers. In 1848, Polish hopes were high that these revolutions would pave the way for the restoration of an independent Poland. Europe's liberals, after all, had frequently expressed enthusiasm for the idea. But in reality, no major power is willing to risk confrontation with Russia for the sake of the Poles. A Polish rising in Posen is put down by the Prussians, while the Austrians deal with risings in Krakow and Galicia.
Crazy how everyone was terrified of Russia. I see some people say that Russia was a paper tiger. Honestly, I beg to disagree. Russia kind of was a paper tiger, but at the same time, they were a force to be reckoned with, under the right conditions, of course.
The first euphoric phase of the European revolutions becomes known as the springtime of the peoples. With censorship relaxed, there's an explosion in the number of newspapers, among them Cologne's radical new daily, Neue Rheinische Zeitung, edited by Karl Marx. It feels like the dawn of a new era. But these early successes are built on the back of an uneasy alliance, as Marx is quick to highlight. Middle-class liberals want constitutions, more inclusion in politics, and a free press. Workers, who are the revolutionary foot soldiers in many cities, want cheaper food and the right to work. German radicals sum it up with a neat pun: freedom to read versus freedom to feed. Europe's new assemblies are under pressure from conservatives who think they're going too far, and radicals and socialists who think they're not going far enough. Most horrifying of all to Europe's middle class: direct action, social revolution, the mob.
What is so good about bread? I know bread has fiber in it, but why is so good about bread? I always wonder, like, every time like there was a peasant revolt in the past, right? Like that's all they would want. They would always be like, "Oh, we want bread. We want bread. Bread, 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 bread." And it's like, why is so good about bread? Bread has like little nutrients in it besides fiber that I can think of, and carbohydrates, I guess. But then again, this I know bread was very easy and like very damn, I forgot the word. Is it readily available? No, it's like the opposite of readily available, but it was like everywhere. It was very easy to grow, but still, eh.
In the wake of the revolution, France's provisional government had set up national workshops, a public works programme to alleviate unemployment in Paris. But just 3 months later, a new, more conservative government announces their closure. 100,000 workers are suddenly jobless. The response is immediate and furious. Over 3 days in June, Paris radicals take on the middle-class National Guard and regular troops in a bloody battle of the barricades. The Archbishop of Paris attempts to mediate, but is cut down in a crossfire.
That is such a tragic way to go, fam. That is such a tragic way to go. Oof. Bruh. Me personally,
This remarkable early photograph shows some of the Paris barricades fought over that summer.
Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. Okay, we got an actual photograph of... Oh my gosh, dude, look at Paris. It looks like slums. Oh. Oh my gosh. Oh. Oh, dude, cities were so bad to live in back then. No, they're still bad to live in today.
By the time it's all over, General Cavaignac's troops have killed at least 1,500 workers and arrest 12,000 more, a third of whom are deported to Algeria. He believes he has saved France from anarchy. The sacred cause of the Republic has triumphed, he declares. The French Revolution has split between left and right, with bloody consequences. It paves the way for the return of a famous name from the past, promising unity and order.
Add more joy to your journey at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Get in and get away.
That spring, conservative governments had been caught off guard by the speed of events. Now they begin to fight back. In Prague, Czech students clash with troops. The wife of Austrian commander General Windisch Graetz is killed by a stray bullet. He
Damn. Ow.
responds by withdrawing his troops and bombarding the city's old town with artillery.
Nah, bro. Nah. Bros, yo, nah. Bro did not let that slide. Nah. Bro is the definition of not letting that slide.
43 are killed before the students surrender. In Italy, King Carlo Alberto of Piedmont, Sardinia, has declared an Italian war of liberation against Austria and invades Lombardy Venetia. He is supported by the other Italian states and nationalist volunteers, including the Italian Legion, led by professional revolutionary Giuseppe Garibaldi. Austrian forces in Italy are commanded by 81-year-old Field Marshal Radetzky, a distinguished veteran of the Napoleonic Wars. Vienna orders him to negotiate. Instead, Radetzky wages a masterful campaign, fending off the Piedmontese advance, then launching a decisive counterattack. Piedmontese forces retreat in disarray, and Carlo Alberto negotiates a truce.
Bro, how do you declare war on someone and you end up losing? Oh, bro. Bro, bro. And you have all of Italy with you. Like, all the Italian states are backing you. And wow. That is just wow.
That summer, Johann Strauss composes the Radetzky March to celebrate the old general's victory.
Is this like some famous like song that I should be aware of? Because I don't know what this song is.
Meanwhile, Austrian relations with Hungary are in crisis. The country is now effectively independent, with its own elected parliament and a prime minister, Lajos Batthyány. But not everyone wants to be part of the new Hungary. Savage ethnic conflicts break out between Hungarians and Romanians in Transylvania and Hungarians and Serbs in Vojvodina, leaving thousands dead. An even greater threat is Croatian General Josip Jelačić, a fire-breathing imperial loyalist who takes matters into his own hands and invades what he regards as a renegade province. The emperor still hopes for a peaceful resolution and sends a loyal general, Count Lamberg, to take command of Hungarian military forces. But on arrival, he's brutally murdered by a mob. Appalled, the imperial government declares war on the Hungarian revolutionaries.
Yo, come on. The guy wasn't even like doing anything. And they just maimed him. Is it maimed? Not memed. Maimed. Well, they just killed him. But, oh my gosh. Damn, dude. What a way to go.
This in turn outrages liberals and radicals in Vienna. There is fresh violence on the streets, and the Austrian Minister of War is lynched. Troops evacuate the city, while the emperor flees to Olmütz. Jelačić marches to the government's aid. He joins forces with Windisch Graetz outside Vienna, and together they bombard the city.
Damn, Austria. Damn, yo, Austria and its empire, bro. I don't know. Austria was always, to me, in its prime, you know, before like the really modern era came, you know, it was formidable. But as the 20th century just rolled in, it was pretty bad.
Then they attack. The October Rising is crushed, with the loss of 2,000 lives. 25 revolutionary leaders are executed, including Robert Blum, a member of the German parliament in Frankfurt. He becomes a celebrated martyr of the revolutions.
Add.
Tap the Get It Fast filter and you'll be shown options available for quick shipping. This is great.
Take part in large-scale battles of War Thunder, an epic multiplayer action game with military.
With Vienna secure, the Austrian invasion of Hungary can begin. The Hungarians are heavily outnumbered. Budapest falls, and the Hungarian government evacuates to Debrecen.
How thick Hungary is. Like, look at how thick Hungary is, bro. Hungary needs to be thick like that again. Honestly, Hungary got so cut. Sad what happened to Hungary. Oh my gosh, fam. I like seeing a thick Hungary.
Following the violence in Berlin that March, the King of Prussia withdraws to his palace at Potsdam on the outskirts of the city. Here he is surrounded by loyal troops and conservative advisors, including a 33-year-old aristocrat named Otto von Bismarck. When asked,
Whoa, that's what Bismarck looked like when he was younger? Okay, wow, I didn't even recognize that was him. I'm like so used to him, you know, that old picture of him.
for his view on what should be done, Bismarck says nothing but leans over to a piano and taps out the March of the Prussian Infantry. The forces of conservatism are strong in Prussia. There is deep loyalty to the state and the king. Allies, like Bismarck, adopt the enemy's tactics, launching conservative political organizations and newspapers to mobilize this support. By November, King Frederick William has noted the infighting of his opponents and the defeat of the Vienna Revolution and decides to act. He orders General Wrangel to lead 13,000 troops into Berlin. They enter the city unopposed and order the Prussian assembly to disperse. It has no option but to comply. Prussia will get its constitution, but it is one handed down by the king, under which he retains full executive power. Prussian dreams of a true parliamentary system, even a republic, are dashed.
Yo, yeah, these revolutions are starting to go downhill, it seems like. Bro, at the start, I was like, why is no one not doing anything? Typically, 19th century fashion, you just go, you send the army in, and voila, peace is restored.
In December, 2 new players take the stage, who will play key roles in shaping the fate of Europe's revolutions. In Vienna, Emperor Ferdinand abdicates in favor of his 18-year-old nephew, Franz Josef. He will reign until his death in 1916.
Franz Josef. Oh, that's why that name sounded so familiar. Ah, yeah. Oh, some of these people lived to see World War I. Wow. Yo, I'm 18 right now. I'm turning 19 in April. Yeah, April. Yo, it's gonna be crazy to see how much time changed in like 50 years, 70 years from now. Freaking hell, dude. I wonder what technology is gonna be like in the future, because like I do believe that we're gonna have technology to make people live much more longer. In my lifetime, at least.
In Paris, Louis Napoleon Bonaparte, nephew of Emperor Napoleon, is elected President of the French Republic in a landslide victory. He promises to heal divisions, impose order, and restore France to her former glory.
Stanicki isn't real!
Yes, he is.
Richard Barbara Stanicki?
It's my grandmother's name.
In Italy, the tumult continues into 1849.
Wait, they're still at war? Are they still at war?
Papal States, the reforms of Pope Pius had seen him held up as an unlikely liberal role model. But escalating radicalism and violence, notably the assassination of his justice minister, Pellegrino Rossi, caused Pope Pius to flee Rome.
He got stabbed in the neck? Yo, he got stabbed in the neck? Nah, fam. Bro, cutting someone, like, especially in that area, oh, that must have been painful. Because bleeding out isn't, like, painful. I was actually talking to someone about that the other day. I was telling him, I was like, bleeding out is probably one of the best ways to die when you think about it. Because you just sit there, you watch the blood come out of you until you fall unconscious, and then you die like a good couple of minutes later, so you won't even know like when you're dead, and it's quite painless. But this getting stabbed, oh gosh, thinking about that hurts my neck, bro. Oh.
In his absence, a Roman Republic is declared. It is led by Giuseppe Mazzini, the iconic figurehead of Italian nationalism, who's devoted his life to the unification of his homeland. But elsewhere, the Italian cause fares badly. Carlo Alberto resumes his war with Austria, with disastrous consequences. At the
Bro, again? Oh my gosh.
Battle of Novara, Radetzky inflicts another heavy defeat. Carlo Alberto abdicates in favor of his son, Vittorio Emanuele, to avoid
Nah, bro, rage quit. Bro, rage quit.
a Republican revolution. 12 years later, he'll become the first king of a modern united Italy. In the south, Ferdinand reverts to absolutist rule and sends troops to Sicily who stamp out the revolution.
Well, so much for that. I think like everyone is just like, they're like, you know what? Yeah, we're getting sick and tired of this.
Then, to the dismay of liberals across Europe, French President Louis Napoleon sends troops to crush the Republic of Rome and put the Pope back on his throne. He has decided the support of French Catholics is more important to him than the fate of Italian Republicans. French forces are led by General Oudinot, son of the famous Marshal. Rome's defenders are led by Garibaldi. But despite skilled and courageous resistance, Rome is forced to surrender after a 2-month siege. That summer, Radetzky also retakes Venice and puts an end to its republic.
Bruh, everyone is getting clapped everywhere. Yeah, damn.
In March, the German National Parliament in Frankfurt had finally agreed on a constitution for a united Germany. It is to be a constitutional monarchy under an emperor. The man intended to play this role is Frederick William of Prussia. So when he declines the offer, the plan is killed stone dead.
Wait. So you're telling me that Germany could have been united much more earlier before Bismarck came, but he just declined the offer? Really?
In public, he says it is impossible without the consent of the other German princes. In private,
okay.
he says he would never accept a crown from the gutter, disgraced by the stink of revolution.
Damn. Never mind. Forget what I just said.
Revolts in support of the national constitution break out in Saxony, the Palatinate, and the Grand Duchy of Baden. They are crushed by local forces, assisted by Prussian troops. The Frankfurt Parliament itself is dissolved. What hope there had been for a united Germany under a liberal constitution lies in ruins. In Austria, the new emperor...
You know what is funny? Because Germany is basically liberal today. And look how they ended up.
Franz Josef issues his own new constitution, reclaiming almost all political power. He also revokes all the liberal reforms passed by the Hungarian parliament, known as the April Laws. In response, Lajos Kossuth declares formal Hungarian independence, and the country begins an extraordinary campaign of military mobilization.
Oh, Hungary, okay.
Hungarian commander General Gergely retakes Budapest. He then launches a bloody assault on Buda Castle, overpowering its Austrian garrison.
Damn, Hungary. Ooh, Hungary's not playing around.
In desperation, the Austrian emperor travels to Warsaw to formally request military aid from the emperor.
Nah, bro, Hungary is kicking Austria's ass, bro. Nah, bro, that's crazy. That is actually crazy. Bro needs help? Nah. Okay, that is actually shocking.
Of Russia. Russian troops have already moved into Moldavia and then Wallachia to put down the Romanian liberal revolution.
Yo, everyone is like getting together. All of these people who are like basically like enemies of sorts are just like uniting under one like one cause, bro. Oh my gosh.
Nicholas now agrees to send troops to Hungary to crush those he describes as the enemies of order and tranquility. Hungary faces an impossible strategic situation, surrounded and outnumbered more than 2 to 1. the combined onslaught is irresistible. The Hungarian forces are driven south and finally forced to surrender.
Damn.
In the aftermath, around 120 Hungarian politicians and army officers are executed. So ends Hungary's War of Independence.
Wow, this is gonna be odd. Just skip this part.
Fairlife Nutrition Plan is a tastefully made shake with 30 grams of high-quality protein and 2 grams of sugar.
"1848 was a year like no other. A series of seismic political events following one upon another like falling dominoes. But what had been achieved? A British historian famously described 1848 as the turning point at which modern history failed to turn. And for all the euphoria of Europe's springtime of the peoples, by 1849, it seemed that the counter-revolutionaries had won everywhere.
Yeah. Bro, at the start of the video, it was just so strange to me how freaking they were just letting these people just get away with all of this stuff. But yeah, in the end, they won.
But some gains did endure, such as the abolition of serfdom in Austria and the popular vote in France, though France became a little less democratic in 1852, after Louis Napoleon made himself emperor. Across Europe, governments modernized and paid more attention to economic and social issues, partly in response to the new challenges that had emerged from socialist and working-class politics. The causes of German and Italian unification had been defeated, but made giant strides and learned crucial lessons. Their goals would not be achieved by ideas alone, but the realities of force. In the words of Bismarck, the great questions of the day were to be settled not through speeches and majority decisions, but by iron and blood. It would be wars waged by powerful monarchies that united Germany and Italy. The legacy of 1848, for good and ill, would be felt for decades to come.
That wasn't like a crazy video, but it was hella entertaining to watch. Check out these videos right here if you like what you see, if you like my reactions. This is a very informative video. I've always wanted to learn about the 1848 revolutions because I've heard about it and I never really knew much about it. So yeah, I have learned a lot more from this. So, you know, thank you for watching the video. Make sure you like it and subscribe. And well, I'm gone.